What's up, everybody? How you doing? It is your girl, your diva, and knowledge lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Hope everybody's doing well. If y'all did not get a chance, hopefully y'all was able to check out my upload for my marriage essentials. As I stated, I'm going to be doing a lot of content, giving marital advice from a married standpoint. So for those who are interested in my marital content, please make sure you are hitting the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload content pertaining to marriage, and the name of that content is going to be known as the Marriage Essentials. I already uploaded my first content today, discussing the myths of marriage. So if you want to make sure you're up to date on my marital content, please make sure you check out my first upload of Marriage Essentials. I'm going to be uploading probably at least once a week, different topics pertaining to marriage. So if there's any particular questions or anything that you have in mind that you would like to ask me regarding marriage, please make sure you email me at cafedeparis79@yahoo.com so I can make sure I can deliver whatever content you would like for me to deliver as far as anything relating to marriage. So on that note, I felt it was very imperative that I did content pertaining to this particular subject. And basically, this ties into the bigger the success, the bigger the target you become. Um, I'm sure that a lot of you who have been in the YouTube sector, whether if you have been just a subscriber, whether if you have been a content creator, we see how a lot of y'all have witnessed how a lot of us has grown as content creators. If you've been a subscriber, especially if you've been with the same content creators from the beginning when they first started their initial channel. Probably when you first started off being subscribed to some of us, we may have only started off with maybe 20, 30 subscribers. Then over time, thanks to most of you, thanks to the majority of subscribers, y'all are the reasons our platforms continue to flourish and grow. You let other people know, hey, I want you to check out this person over here. He has really good content. She has really good content. And next thing you notice, when the word starts to travel around, that is pretty much when we start to gain subscribers. And as we gain subscribers over time, is there so much you have to keep doing as a content creator in order to keep your content progressing. You have to constantly be creative. You have to constantly come up with content and material that's going to keep people interested. For the most part, people are more drawn to fuckery for whatever reason. That seems to be content that seems to be the hottest on the platter, especially when it comes to the black YouTube sector, especially when it comes to trying to appeal to the black audience within the YouTube sector. So the majority of subscribers are very intrigued when it comes to fuckery. Most subscribers will basically subscribe to channels and support channels that basically promote fuckery. It's different levels of fuckery that is being promoted. You have some channels, they're a little bit more laid back and classy. They don't do a lot of animated stuff. They don't do a lot of roasting, but they do a lot of black woman bashing, and it's not just black men that are doing it. You have black women who promote black male fuckery, where they basically bash black men, and these are the type of channels that seem to make the most noise. They seem to get the most amount of attention. They tend to get the most amount of support, and like I said, it's just different levels of fuckery. Like I said, you have some content creators, they're a little bit more smooth with how they address black female fuckery. They don't do a lot of profanity. They don't do extreme bashing to the point to where they're calling black women bitches and hoes. They just finesse the way they address fuckery. And then you have those type of content creators who do do a lot of degrading content, in a sense, in where they are constantly referring to women as bitches and hoes. And you also have black female content creators who also are very degrading to black men as well, calling them no good, n word, and deadbeats, basically. So like I said, there's so many different levels to promoting fuckery. Just some content creators are more graphic and more rated X, and then you have other content creators where they keep it real. They do go in on black men or black women, but they're just not as graphic and vulgar with their content and with their message. So me being in this YouTube sector, I've come to the realization that that is just something. If you want to become popular in this YouTube sector, you have to promote more fuckery more than anything. If your channel is basically, about degrading another gender, bashing another gender. And like I said, both genders are guilty of doing it. It is not just black men that are bashing black women, and it's not just black women that are bashing black men. It's both genders that are guilty of constantly promoting fuckery. And that is what seems to appeal to the mass audience. If you're talking about anything positive, you're talking about growth, you're talking about if you're trying to encourage black women to better themselves, your channel is not going to get a lot of support. If you're promoting black men and trying to uplift them and better them, and basically promote a more spiritual, positive insight to the black male audience, you're not going to get a lot of attention, unfortunately. So YouTube has already pretty much demonstrated, if you want your channel to flourish, you got to pick a side. You either got to be a black woman basher or a black man basher. You got to do one or the other. Okay. So as I stated, as I've been in this game for a while, I'm noticing that there's a lot of content creators that are really excelling, and their channel is doing phenomenally well. And for the most part, it's basically because, again, um, the success has everything to do, again, with promoting fuckery, because that is what the audience likes, and that is what the audience is more appeased to listening to. You're not going to get any interest unless you're talking about black women and you're shaming black women, you're degrading black women. And the same thing with black men. You have to bash black men, degrade black men, insult black men, disgrace black men in order for black women to be interested in your channel. Okay, so that just comes with the game. So basically, a lot of content creators are prospering off of fuckery. Okay, because that's the only thing that I'm seeing is getting a lot of hype and getting a lot of attention. A lot of black content creators, their channel is not really hitting on anything unless it's speaking on the faults and flaws of black women or black men. So, which brings me to the issue at hand that I'm going to be discussing on my content. The bigger the success, the bigger the target. And I say that to basically say that you're not going to become successful in this YouTube game unless you, one, promote fuckery, whether if that's bashing black men or bashing black women. I don't care how you do it. If you do it elegant with finesse and class, or if you do it with ratchetness. But either way, you have to promote fuckery. That's the only way your channel is going to get any type of real recognition. Now, the catch 22 is that I've come to discover is that you're not going to become successful without a price being attached to success. The truth is, being a YouTube content creator is a very rewarding. It's a very rewarding position to have, due to the fact that you have a lot of people who value your opinion and people who respect your content, and for the most part they admire the wisdom and the knowledge that you share and that you can contribute. So this in turn helps your channel to become successful. And being a content creator, that is what most of us strive to do. That is what most of us aim to do. And as a content creator, that is something you should be motivated to do, is to appeal as much as possible. Make sure your content is appealing enough to where you're earning a large, substantial amount of subscribers and views. If you're not earning enough of subscribers and views, for one, you're not financially profiting, and two, your work goes unnoticed. So it's very important that you strive to be to the top. Now, the thing about it is, once you climb that ladder to success, getting there is one thing, but the second element is now you have to stay there. And that is where the pressure can become a bit overwhelming. The thing is, as a content creator, most black men and black women in the black YouTube sector, everybody wants to be on top. Everybody wants to be Nino Brown. Everybody wants to be top dog. After all, if you're not hitting on any views, if you're not hitting on a large amount of subscribers, you're not hitting on anything. It is basically like your channel and your platform is going in vain if you're not doing successfully with your views and doing successfully with the amount of people that are subscribed to your channel. Not only that, if you're not getting attention from people that are already bigger in the game than you. Those three things are very important elements to have if you want to become a successful content creator. Like I said, views, the people that are watching; two, subscribers, the people that are actually subscribed, who are actually members, people who are actually investing into your platform and your brand; and third, your connections. You got to be tight with the right people. People who are already big in the game, who like you enough, who respect you enough to bring you onto their platform to help you get promoted. And that's a very hard thing to do, especially if you're not a kiss ass type of person. If you're not willing to clout chase, beg the people, be on people's platforms. You're always fighting to try to join panels, the popular panels, the popular content creators. If you're not one to run behind, and you don't to run behind big content creators, and you're not motivated with clout chasing, it's going to be a little harder for you to increase, for your channel to be promoted as quickly as and effectively and successfully compared to those who had the right connections. Like me, on the other hand, I haven't done any panels with the top of the notch, with the most successful content creators. So therefore, my views is going to take a lot longer it to increase compared to those who started off in very popular sectors. If you started off in the sector that was already really popular, and after you done been on with that sector for a long amount of time, to now you're big enough now where you can branch off and do your own thing, that's already a big jump for you before you even start your own channel, because you started off in a very popular sector. So if you're not a popular person, if you wasn't already part of a popular movement in the YouTube sector and you're starting from scratch, basically you wasn't nobody, you wasn't known with the knowns. You were because everybody at some point in time was not always popular. They wasn't always hitting on everything. They was unknown at some point in time. A lot of these um big content creators, the ones that have huge platforms, the ones that have over 200,000 subscribers, have over 20,000 subscribers, once upon a time they were unknown, kicking it with the knowns. Okay, everybody who's successful, they did not get there on their own. It took them doing some clout chasing and butt and booty kissing. It took them getting in with the right folks, getting on certain platforms, getting cool with their popular content creators, um basically panel prostituting, going from one popular panel to another popular panel. If not that, a lot of people earned a lot of recognition by beefing or falling out, getting into it with the most popular content creators. um this is another way of climbing that ladder of success. A lot of people have stepped on toes to get to where they were. So some people have intentionally got into beefs with popular content creators, and that's another way. A lot of content creators started off being known because they fell out with a popular content creator, or at one point in time they was part of that content creators movement. They all did panels together. Once that certain man or once that certain woman felt like, okay, I have been with this movement long enough, they done helped me to build my brand, they have helped me to start initiating my platform and my channel. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave this movement, leave this YouTube sector, branch off and start my own channel because I done got big enough off of them now. I done got big enough. I don't need them anymore. I don't need any more clout from them. And sometimes that happens. You take a chance when you are a content creator and you bring other people onto your movement. And I've discussed this before. Sometimes you can be the person who had the movement, who started the movement, and you bring a small fry on. You can be basically, you could be the chief, and you could bring an Indian on. And meanwhile, you're helping them out, you're bringing them on your panel, or you're allowing them to be a part of your YouTube movement, your YouTube sector. And sometimes, in some cases, the Indian can become bigger than the damn chief. It has happened. And guess what? Once the Indian has become bigger than the chief, the Indian no longer needs the chief. And that happens. We've all known that one person who you help that person get a job. Okay, you've been there for 20, 30 something years. You've been at that job forever. You looked out for a friend of yours and you said, I tell you what, we need more help where we at. I'm gonna help you get hired. I'm gonna help you get put on. You put your homeboy on, your homegirl on. The plan was to just help them get a job. But you didn't know was once you helped them to get that job, the boss, the CEO, was going to like that person, and something about them, something about their success, something about their personality was going to outshine yours. Something about them just was going to draw more attention to where now this person who you put on, they done got promoted in 2-3 months, and here it is, you done been here 2-3 years and you never got promoted, you never got noticed, and here it is, the one person you bring on board, they getting all the shine. A lot of that has happened in the YouTube sector. I've known some guys who had really good movements, really good YouTube sectors. It was 5 or 6 of them who started off together. The team was solid, the team was strong, and then for whatever reason, the main chief who was orchestrating the whole movement, one of his young brethren that didn't put in near as much work as he did, who wasn't near as popular as he was, is now already outshining him. It happens. You can put somebody on, and for whatever reason, something about them, they just tend to, you know, over, they tend to out success you, if that's a word. They tend to out success you, and they can become bigger than you, even though you was the one who initially put them on and helped them now. Now, if you're a mature man or a mature woman, you're not going to feel some type of way because you realize that sometimes that happens. You know, you can put somebody on and they can become bigger than you and more successful than you. And guess what? You wish them the best. You congratulate them, and there's no hard feelings. But at the end of the day, everybody's not like that. You have some people that are like this. Hell, how dare I put you on and you get bigger than me? They slamming you, they're sending their trollers, they're getting your channels flagged. It's all kind of stuff that you got to deal with when you rise above the group and you become bigger than the man who put you on his platform. It happens. So, nevertheless, there's a lot that comes with the territory of becoming successful. Like I said, it has everything to do with where you originally started from. Like me, I wasn't part of no group. I wasn't part of no platform, no movement. I wasn't doing a lot of panels with popular content creators. So it's taken my channel a little bit longer to flourish compared to somebody who started off with somebody who was already really popular and hot in the game. So it goes back to the bigger the success, the bigger the target. For every success, new levels bring new devils. In other words, you're not going to get into this game, become big, become successful, become popular, become the hottest thing on the block, and you think there's not all kind of snakes that's not going to be slithering out of the grass. The bigger the success, the bigger the target you become. Success and snakes come hand in hand. That's why they both start with the letter S. You're not going to get success without the snakes. You're not going to get the snakes without the success. They both come hand in hand. In the words of Pastor Jakes, for every blessing, there's a burden. For every burden, there's a blessing. You're not going to be blessed abundantly, and you don't think the enemy is going to come full force and not try to sabotage your success. This is the downfall that comes with becoming a successful content creator. There's a lot of chaos and drama because people do not want to see your channel strive. People do not want to see your platform grow. Okay? Because you have to realize once you become successful, as your success increases, so does your enemies. So does your enemies. So if you think you're going to get big in this game and just live a happy hunky-dory life, you're going to get all your super chats, you're going to get all your donations, you're going to get all this love, all of this glory, all the praises, all the recognition, all the fame, all the notoriety. If you're going to think you're going to get all of that and you don't have any drama or chaos coming behind it, you are sadly mistaken. As you become successful, the bigger the success, the bigger the target. That's the more enemies you're going to have waiting for your downfall. Okay? Once you become a successful content creator, there's a lot of things you have to be mindful of once you become successful. For one, the first thing is becoming successful means The ones you started out with, the ones who felt like they played a part in putting you on, now here comes the group of haters. And your first group of haters, your first group of enemies, because I'm going to go into the elements of the enemies that you're going to start creating once you become successful. So the first set of enemies is those who you started off with. Now they're going to become a foe. Those are going to become your ops, because the way they look at it, had it not been for them putting you on in the first place, even if they didn't play a huge role in your success, just the fact that they started you off on their platform when you was an unknown, when you was a nobody, when you was irrelevant, it's going to always be one of those that's going to remind you, had it not been for me, had it not been for us, you wouldn't have been who you were had I not started you off in my camp. That's the first set of enemies. Your first set of enemies are going to be the ones who gave you a chance when nobody knew who the hell you was. And these are going to be the ones that's going to make sure they let it be known he wasn't nobody or she wasn't nobody, had it not been for me giving them a chance to have a voice on my platform, on my channel. Now he or she got a little something. They think they this and they think they that. But I remember when I put them on with me, hell, they didn't have a pot to piss in or when to throw it out of. I put them on in my camp. When I got donations, I looked out and I had to super chat him or super chat her. And now all of a sudden, now that they got a little success, they acting like they the only ones who did it. Like we wasn't the ones who put him or her on before she got this big in the YouTube sector. So that's your first set of enemies, your day ones, okay? And this is not just a certain gender. Like I said, both genders have done this. I've seen female platforms do the same thing. All of them started off in the same camp together. But because one of the females in the camp stood out more, was getting more attention from the men, from other male content creators, or from other male subscribers, and now she was able to branch off and start her own platform and do her own thing without the camp who she started off with. Now her day ones is looking at her and feeling some type of way. Oh, she thinks she the shit when we had to help her out. We had to lend her money. We had to give her a voice on our platform because nobody knew who the hell she was. So your first enemies is going to be your day ones, okay? They're now going to become your enemies because they're going to feel like had it not been for them, you wouldn't even been where you were. Okay, so that's the first set of enemies you're going to have. The second set of enemies you're going to have is those who know you behind the scenes before you became this popular successful YouTube content creator, because it does not matter who you are behind the keyboard, who you are behind the mic, who you are behind the camera. There are people who really know your lifestyle, people who really know what you had to go through or what you are going through. It's going to be those who know the real you. Now, this could pertain to family members. Okay, this could pertain to, like I said, people who was your ace boon coon from when y'all was doing platforms and channels together. It's always going to be people that knows the real you, the parts that subscribers, people who don't know of you behind the scenes. Those are going to also become your enemies, because the way they're going to look at it is, okay, now you're successful, now you're this big time content creator, but oh, we got secrets on you. It's stuff we know about that your subscribers don't know about you yet. We know how many times you've been married. We know you wasn't paying child support. We know who your baby daddies are. It's people who know your innermost secrets, who are now, because of your success, are now going to become your newfound enemies. These are the ones you're going to have to be careful of, because once you become successful, they're going to bring up all of your old dirt, anything to try to take your success away from you. They're going to become your enemies now. People who know all your inner deep things that you shared with them in the past when you was a nobody, when you was a no one. These are the ones, because of your success, they're going to try to hold your past against you. So this is the next set of enemies that you got to worry about. Third set of enemies is your subscribers. Okay? Um, as I stated, everybody's not rooting for you in this YouTube game. The way I look at it is, if you have two, I'm just technically speaking, let's say if you have 2,000 no, I got to say way more numbers than that. Let's say if you got 20,000 subscribers and you gain 20,000 subscribers within 1 week. The way I look at it, if you want to really be able to visualize how many enemies you have, double that. So if you have 20,000 subscribers, that means you got 40,000 enemies. Okay? I say always double whatever your success that is, double it, and that's the amount of enemies and haters you got. Okay, so for every 20,000 that loves you and supports you, there's 40,000 that hate you, can't stand you, and waiting for the moment for your empire to fall, waiting for the moment where you get exposed and all your secrets and skeletons come out the closet. These are the ones that you have to be mindful of. Okay, your subscribers, people who started off with you, who probably liked you when you first initially started off, because sometimes something about when you first become a content creator, your content is more authentic, it's more genuine, because the hunger is a little bit more uh, um 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 I know what I'm trying to say. It's basically like your hunger is a little bit more uh it's like you're more driven. Maybe I'm thinking too deep. You know, something about whenever a person initially first starts off doing something they really love, the hunger is stronger. Your hunger is strong because you're wanting so badly to be successful. So you're willing to put your all, your dedication. You know, the hunger is more deeper when you're initially starting off doing something that you love. Over time, as you've been doing something, your passion is there, but the hunger is not as strong as it first initially was. You know, like a lot of people who have become rap stars or people who have become athletes, the first time starting off because they want so badly to be successful and want so badly to do well. So the motivation is even stronger, and over time, because you've earned your clout, you've earned your notoriety, the hunger is not as strong as it first was when you first initiated and started off. Um, and that's the same thing being a YouTube content creator is about. Um, in the initial beginning, because you don't have fans, you don't have all this notoriety, you're more passionate in your delivery. You're more passionate in your creativity because you've been starving for this, you've been wanting this, you've been desiring it, and over time, after you don't earn your clout, it's not to say that you're no longer passionate, but the passion is not as intense as it first was when you started off. Um, and over time, your audience will tend to notice that. Or what tends to happen is you lose your ethnicity, and now because you've earned subscribers and because you have earned notoriety, you have become popular. Now you're too busy. You're either following the trend that's popular, so you're deterring away from your first your first ethnical self. When you first started off, you have steered away from that because now you have become so addicted to the numbers, you have become so addicted to the popularity and addicted to the views, to now you're just doing anything to try to fit in, to make your channel stay popular. So now you're doing what you see other people do. Initially, you might have started off doing content that was more authentic, that was more genuine. But now you want to follow the trend, because what tends to happen as a content creator, a lot of content creators become addicted to numbers. They become addicted to views, that they tend to lose themselves. They tend to lose their authenticity. They tend to lose their art. Everything that made them what they were, the first thing that made them popular when they first initially became a content creator, they have strayed away from that now, because now they don't let the numbers get in their head. Now they don't let the popularity get in their head. Now they done got this YouTube fame, done basically got the best of them. So what tends to happen is now the subscribers are don't have that same love. They don't have that same loyalty for the content creator, because they're seeing that content creator change. They're seeing that content creator do everything everybody else is doing. Everybody else is talking fuckery now. Now that person went from talking about, businesses and investments, things that might have started them off becoming popular. Now they done stirred away from that. They done pushed away from that. They're too busy following the trend instead of them being consistent with what made people start following their channels in the first place. And this tends to happen a lot, because sometimes as a content creator, when you're noticing your views are not hitting as hard, and you're noticing you're not getting a lot of subscribers and people unsubscribing, you start going around floating, checking out the scenery, seeing, okay, so what's happening? What's hot? Since my shit ain't hot, what is it that's drawing subscribers' attention? Where are they going? Who are they subscribed to? That's causing them to not find any interest in my content. And as you're peeping from the clouds, you're noticing most of your subscribers are subscribing to channels that promote fuckeries, subscribing to channels that promote drama, subscribing to channels that promote a lot of chaos. So now you're feeling the pressure of, how do I earn back my views? How do I earn back my subscribers? The only way you feel like you can keep up with the crowd is now you got to do what other people do. It's kind of like being a rap star. You know what I mean? Back then you could rap, you can do political rap like Public Enemy did. You could rap about racism. You could rap about police brutality. But we're in a new era now. They don't have any political hip hop anymore. Everything is about sex. Everything is about flash, and everything is about showing what you got, how much money you spend, how many cars you own. It's all about being flashy now. So any rapper that was to do any raps music pertaining to politics, they're not going to get a lot of shine, because the hip hop game has become all about materialism. It has become materialistic. It's all about how much you can stunt, how much money you can flash. That's the same thing with being a content creator. So slowly but surely, your subscribers start becoming your enemies, because now they're feeling like either you're not, that's your content is not as authentic as it used to be, or because you're trying to keep up with the trend, you done pissed off a lot of your original day one subscribers trying to keep up with the trend of what the new content creators are doing. For instance, Just an example. If I started off doing content where I've always been supportive of black men, and all of a sudden, because my channel's not getting a lot of shine because I'm talking positive about black men, so now I want to start bashing black men because in my mind I feel like that's the content that's getting the most attention. I'm not getting attention talking positive. My channel's not growing. My channel's not prospering talking positive about black men. So I'm a bash black men because I see over here that's what she does on her channel, and that's what's helping her to get views. Not only is she getting views, she got the most popular content creators on her panel, on her platform. So you know what? I'm going to start bashing black men, and you know what's going to happen? All of the black men who supported me when I was talking positive about black men, now they have unsubscribed from me. Now they are no longer part of supporting my movement. And this is how a lot of content creators promote enemies, because now you're trying so badly to become popular, trying to fit in, you want to be known, you are willing to sacrifice your most dedicated subscribers just so you can earn the attentions of what's hot right now, what's popular right now. So a lot of content creators, they create subscribers to be their enemies, to where now you got all kind of people trolling on your channel. Oh yeah, you know, you used to be this, you used to be that, but now you done got fake, you done got phony. Now you done became something you not. You know, this is how a lot of content creators create enemies. When you wasn't hot and you wasn't on top, you was more compassionate. You know, your content was more genuine. You showed you pretty much did content that was for everybody. You know, now that you hitting on some views and you hitting on popularity, now you done flaked out. You doing content that offends your most dedicated subscribers, which are now your enemies. So again, as you become successful, you have to be careful how far you're willing to go to be successful. Meaning, you can't be so willing to be popular that you're going to piss off people who was dedicated and genuine to you when you was just a small fry. You know, a lot of content creators, they don't think about stuff like that, because again, the views, the subscribers, and the super chat, it clouds your judgment. It has you believing that you're not doing anything wrong, that you're not offending anybody, that but the tricky part is, subscribers and views, they don't show you how many enemies you really got you at the same time. It shows you how many people loves you, but it does not really show you, it does not display how many snakes are really in the goddamn grass. You know what I mean? So not only have your subscribers as your, not only your subscribers become your enemy as you become successful, now you have to watch out for your competitors, other content creators. Okay, this comes with the territory of being successful. You have other content creators that are not wishing you well because you got all this love coming from your subscribers. Your content creators, as I stated, new levels, new devils. Now you got competition. You know, you got these content creators that are observing and noticing that they're losing a lot of their subscribers to your channel, that they're losing a lot of views compared to your channel. All of this again plays a big factor in becoming successful. You're going to increase in enemies. Okay, so you have to be very mindful of that, because again, everybody wants to be on top. You have a lot of people who want to be the man or the one man. Okay, they want to be the only one that has a successful channel, a successful platform. They don't want to spread the wealth. They don't want everybody else to take part in that. They want to be the only ones, and it's something about our culture. Now, I've seen other cultures where they put other people on, they bring other people onto their camp. Something about our kind, when we get on top, we don't want to bring nobody with us. And the bad part is, we don't mind using other people to help us get to where we going, but once we get there, we're not bringing nobody with us. You notice a lot of these content creators, as they become bigger and bigger and bigger, they're going to be doing most of their content by themselves. They're not going to bring anyone else with them, even though before they got big, everybody had them on a platform. Everybody had them, in a panel, in a channel. Now they get up there, they don't know any of the people who they started off with. They have nothing to do with their day ones now. It's like, I got my success, I got my notoriety. I don't have to bring nobody on with me, even though once upon a time somebody took a gamble on them. That's how our kind do. When we become successful, we not bringing nobody else to join. And that's just the next thing, and that just comes with it. Now, as I stated, for every burden there's a blessing. You're not going to get blessed and not have to deal with chaos, not have to deal with the drawbacks that come with success. You also have to deal with lawsuits. You're going to be dealing with lawsuits. People are going to look for you to do any and everything, anything wrong, so they can bring down your empire. This is the other backdraft of becoming successful. People are not going to let you be great. You think people are going to let you sell books, sell t-shirts, sell coffee mugs, and they just want to see you win. They just want to see you flourish. They just want to see you become the biggest thing ever. And you don't think they're not going to come after you? You don't think they're not going to try to bring you down? This comes along with being successful, with becoming successful. People are going to look for you to do anything wrong, and they coming after you. Because again, you're not the only one that wants success. You have people that are willing to earn success just by sabotaging somebody else's success. They don't want to go and get it the right way. They don't want to go and get it the authentic way. They don't want to work hard and strive and climb to get to where they are. They want to take, well, whoever is big, they want to take them down and earn notoriety off of destroying somebody's platform. Because that's the sad part. You could become big by taking down a bigger person. That's how bad, that's how dirty, that's how grimy the YouTube game has become. Okay? So you have to keep in mind, once you become big, the bigger the success, the bigger the target. You're going to have so many enemies coming after you. You're going to have to walk a thin line just because you are successful. You can't just say what you want to say. You can't just do what you want to do. You can't just um feel like now that you got your notoriety, you have to be less careful. You have to be even more careful now, because all it takes is for you to piss the wrong person off. They're trying to sue you. They're trying to come after your brand. You know, it's just so, it's a thin line you have to walk, because people out here is really on some strong hate, and they do not want to see you grow. So you have to be very careful that you don't allow your arrogance, you don't allow your notoriety, you don't allow your confidence to get the best of you, to the point to where you're cocky. You don't feel like you got to be mindful of what you say to people, how you say it to people, because that one person, like I said, you got a lot of enemies. They're waiting for you to slip and say the wrong thing. They're waiting for you to do the wrong thing. They're waiting for you to misuse their information incorrectly, so they can sue you for copyrights, so they can sue you for using material. And this is what tends to happen. Success makes you blindsided, because you're looking at the numbers, you're looking at the views, you're looking at the success. You're not as protective, because you're getting all of this love, you're getting all this notoriety, you're getting all this attention and recognition, you're getting all of these people who are trying to promote your success. You're getting all of these um you know, people that want to sign contracts with you, people that want to produce your show. You're getting so much love and so much recognition that you're overlooking small things that you don't think is a big deal, that is not a threat to you right now, is going to become a threat to you later. And that's why it's very important that as you become successful in your brand, you put some really solid ass people on your team that want the best for you, that's going to fence you, that's going to keep you in a safety net, people that's going to put you in your place and tell you, look man, or look sis, you know, you need to bring it down just a peg or two. But what tends to happen is when some of us become successful, we become so arrogant, we don't feel like we need to trust anybody. We don't feel like we need somebody to put us in our place to keep us leveled. When you become successful, it's very important that you have a strong team that you want in your corner to put you in your place and tell you when you're doing too much. But what tends to happen when a person becomes successful, they don't think they no longer need guidance. They feel like because their show is successful, they're making all of this money, they're making all the super chat, they're getting all of these views on all of these subscribers. They feel like they got everything under control. They feel like they got the game mastered. They got it figured out. They don't need nobody to tell them nothing. But let me tell you something. Even successful people still need to be told what to do sometimes, because sometimes successful people can get the big head because we're doing great with numbers, we're doing great financially, but for everything we're doing great in, there's also the reality that everything you're building can be taken away from you in a matter of seconds if you don't have some solid ass people on your team saying, okay, you've been doing fuckery long enough, it's time for you to switch it up and do something different. Because let me tell you, people on your team, they're going to be able to pick up on shit that you're not going to pick up on. People, you need somebody in your audience you need somebody in your team paying attention to your audience, looking at how many people are coming up against you. It's very important. Just like the rapper from back in the day, MC Hammer. MC Hammer, we all know, was a millionaire back in the day. Okay. This man was so big in his career. And because he has so much love, he has so much popularity, the man was doing phenomenal with record sales, doing phenomenal with tours. The man was so big, he was way ahead of his time. And because he was so successful, he did not pay attention to the little snakes that was surrounding him. Because you know why? Success blinds you of that. Success blinds you of the snakes. Success blinds you that you can't be pimped. Success makes you feel like you can't be pimped. You feel like because you're popular and you have arrived and your content is doing great, your channel is doing great, you don't feel like you have much to worry about. But the bigger you become, do you not realize the more you become a threat to people? Because again, everybody does not want to see you win. And the more you become a threat to people, that's the more snakes that's going to start slithering out of the grass. And basically, that's what happened with MC Hammer. He had gotten so big, he was spending money like crazy. You know, he was spreading his wealth all over the place. He was looking out for the wrong people. And the one person that was on his team, his wife, kept telling him, you have to be careful. You're doing too much for the wrong people. You're spending too much money. You're getting things that we don't need. How the hell you getting a waterfall in our house? You getting elevators, all of this stuff you don't need, because success will make you feel like you can do what you want to do. Success, like I stated, is a good thing, but it's a bad thing because success makes people very arrogant. It makes you very cocky and makes you feel like you don't need to listen to anybody. And now, one time you don't take heed because you feel like you know it all, because your success has made you have it all, that is when the enemy does its most work. and it catches you off guard and it catches you by surprise. Next thing you notice, you got lawsuits. Next thing you notice, you got people flagging your channels. Next thing you notice, now you got all of these content creators that are coming together to try to bring down your empire, all because they're jealous of your success. They're envious of your success. And not only that, you still got to be careful with the ones you keep on your team, because the ones that are closest to you, those are the ones who got way more room to sabotage you compared to your enemies that deal with you from a distance. That's another thing that you have to be very mindful of, who you have close to you. But at the same time, you do need to have some people that are close to you, that are on your team, that's going to look out and pay attention to stuff that you're going to be too successful to even pay attention to. It's a lot of successful men and successful women that have lost their success because their cockiness got the best of them. Once they started doing well, they did not think they did not need to listen to anybody. They did not think they had to humble themselves. It does not matter how big you are today, you can be forgotten about tomorrow. So you have to be very mindful not to abuse your success, not to step on people's toes to be successful, not to mistreat people, not to spit on your A1s from day ones like you didn't have them there to help you to be successful. You have to be so careful with what you do in this lifetime, because karma has everybody's address. So it's very important that you be mindful and keep in mind that no matter how successful you are, realize the more successful you become, that is the more enemies that are going to start rising up against you. For every blessing, there's a burden. For every burden, there's a blessing. So please leave your comment below. What is your intake on being successful? Do you think that often people who become successful, they become so arrogant to the point where they don't feel like they need to be submissive to other people's knowledge? Or do you feel like people that are successful, they have nothing to worry about? I would really like to know y'all opinion on this situation. Do you think the bigger that you become, the bigger that you'll also become a target? Because you know, for every new level, there's always a new devil. So anyway, y'all, please leave y'all comment below. Let me know what you think about this topic. I am so interested in hearing y'all perspective on this. Anyway, it is your girl, your Ziva and Knowledge Lady Mocha. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth. I'm going to always break you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all be blessed. Take care.